Today's video, we will be talking all about a brand new fragrance to my collection. If you're interested in hearing more about Hale Bopp from Tiziana Terenzi, then just keep watching. Before we get into the video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another video in my Love, Like, or Let Down series. If you've never seen these videos from me, number one, what have you been doing? Number two, I will link the playlist of other videos like this. And number three, these videos are basically where I come on, share with you guys my very first impressions, wear the fragrance for a few days, come back within the same video and give you all a full review. So typically my requirements are that I wear the fragrance at least 3 days, day and night. So 6 times total. Sometimes those days are consecutive, sometimes they're not, but I always get in at least 6 wears of the fragrance so that I feel like I have a really good understanding of how the fragrance wears on me in different situations, possibly different weather types and all that. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this first impression portion. So here is the box. And again, this is Hale Bopp from Tiziana Terenzi. This box is huge. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is like bigger than my head and it's heavy. So let me go ahead and take the plastic wrap off and then I'll be back to show you the full presentation. All right, we got all that plastic off. So I have the box here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show this on camera because it's just too big and heavy, but I'm going to try. Let's see. So do y'all see that? Look at this gorgeous red box. Now I have other fragrances from Tiziana Terenzi, but none from this particular line. So this is my first time. I mean, I'm sure I've probably seen the presentation somewhere on YouTube, but I honestly don't remember the presentation. So this is all kind of new to me. So we are experiencing this together. Look at that box. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I don't display my fragrances in boxes, but if I did, I mean, this would just be a real statement maker. But anyway, let's open it up and look at that beautiful fragrance laying in that satin bed of black. The bottle is black as well. Let's pull it out. So here is what the bottle looks like. And again, this is Hale Bopp from Tiziana Terenzi. If you're interested in where the name came from, that was the name of a comet. That the last time it was visible was in 1996, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, y'all. I could be wrong, but I know it's the name of a comet that we saw here in the 90s. But anyway, this is what the bottle looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. It feels very heavy. It does not look cheap in any way. It just looks very stunning, luxurious. And I like that it's not completely opaque, so you can kind of see through it, which I like because I like to see my juice. I wasn't sure about that when I've seen it like in pictures or on videos. I wasn't sure if it was opaque or not, but I'm glad that it's not fully opaque. So let's go ahead and spray. I guess I'm going to spray the paper first. Okay, this is very rich and deep. So I smell something that's a little bit powdery, but woody. A little sweet, like it has to be vanilla or tonka in this fragrance. Oh, this smells so good. It also smells a little bit aromatic. Okay, time for me to spray it on my body. If you haven't seen these videos from me, when I do my first impressions, I don't try to spend too much time on them because it's really just the first impression and we don't know how I'm going to like feel about it. But the second portion of this video is where I really talk more about how it smells, the opening, the dry down, and all that. And that's when I will share the notes with you all. So make sure you watch the entire video. I think I should stop there because I don't know how strong this fragrance is going to be. But we have it sprayed on my body. And I have to say I am loving it thus far. It is deep and rich and sexy. It's spicy, slightly powdery, slightly aromatic. There's a lot going on. And I have to say right off the bat, it reminds me of something else in my collection, but you got to wait until the end of this video to see what other fragrance it reminds me of. But I am loving it so far. So as of right now, first sniff, very first impression, this is a love for me. Stay tuned so you can see my full review and find out at the end if it ended up being a love, like, or letdown after I've had a chance to really wear it and play with it. Hey y'all, so I'm back and it has been a week since I filmed the first portion of this video, so I am ready to talk to you all about Hale Bopp. So as you saw in my first impression, when I first spray this fragrance, I get a very rich, deep, very spicy fragrance that has some aromatic touches. It is slightly powdery as well at first spray, and I still stand by that. When I first spray it, that's what I get. So the type of spices that I smell in this fragrance are kitchen spices, so like cinnamon or nutmeg, or possibly both. I know there are some florals in this fragrance, but I don't really get a floral sweetness from this. I get more of like a powdery sweetness. I'm not sure what note is lending it that, but that's what I get, like a little bit of a powdery sweetness. And then the aromatic touch that I'm getting, initially I thought was lavender, but I was too curious, y'all. I had to look up the notes between my first impression and today, and I found out that that is sage. And I get that because it didn't smell quite as sharp as lavender. I am not a person who uses sage on a regular, so I'm not super familiar with it, but I have smelled sage before. And once I knew this was sage in here, I could definitely pick that out and differentiate between the lavender. But if you don't know what sage smells like and you know what lavender smells like, then they are a little bit similar in smell to me in this fragrance anyway. Now at dry down, this fragrance definitely gets more well-rounded. It gets smoother and sweeter. I don't know where the sweetness is coming from. If I had to guess, I would say tonka. That's what it smells like to me, or possibly vanilla. I did look up the notes, but I honestly don't remember them, y'all. But that's what it smells like to me, like a beautiful tonka vanilla, or maybe even a mix coming together and just giving it that beautiful sweetness. Now, would I say this is a sweet fragrance? No, but I will say in the dry down, it definitely becomes less sharp, less aromatic, and more powdery sweet. I definitely feel like this fragrance goes on a journey from start to finish, and it's not like it smells like a completely different fragrance in the dry down, but I think that it's an enjoyable ride all the way through. It's beautiful. I think this fragrance is perfectly unisex. It sits right in the middle. I had to put that bottle down, y'all, because it's heavy. But for projection and longevity, she's a winner, okay? She is a winner. So I knew this fragrance lasted long. I guess we'll talk about longevity first. I knew this fragrance lasted long from the previous times that I wore it. I knew when I sprayed it at night, I could still smell it on myself when I woke up in the morning. However, when I wore this fragrance to work the other day, that's when I really was able to test out the longevity, because I work 10-hour shifts. So I sprayed my fragrance probably around 7:20 or so. And by the time I got off work, I was home around like 6:30. I could still smell the fragrance on me. I smelled it the entire time. I did not touch up with it. I didn't even take the bottle with me. I didn't decant this. And I smelled it on myself the entire day. The entire day. Now, as far as being able to really smell it on myself, I would say I was able to really smell it on myself for like a good 7 hours. But then I think I went a little bit nose blind to it, because at that point I asked my coworkers if they could still smell my fragrance, and they're like, yes, we can still smell your fragrance and it smells amazing. So it's not like it was a skin scent. I could smell it on myself by sniffing it, but I was happy to know that other people could still smell it on myself. It wasn't at the forefront of my senses, if that makes sense. It's not like the smell was just so much that I couldn't escape it. That would have been a problem for me. But I did catch little whiffs of it even after that 7-hour mark. So longevity is beastly, like very, very great. Uh-oh, not my microphone. Very great longevity. As far as projection, again, this fragrance is a lot. So I don't know if y'all saw in that first impression where I kind of like was just going slightly ham with the sprays. Generally, when I spray a fragrance for the first time, I try to be very precise and only spray like, you know, I don't know how many sprays I spray, but like I try to spray all my pulse points and that's it if I don't know how the fragrance is going to perform, because I never want it to be like too much on me. But that day, if y'all saw, I was wearing a sweater. It was chilly that day. We had a cold front. So I had to run some errands, and I was outside in the sun. Mind you, it wasn't hot. I think it was like in the 60s, high 60s. So it wasn't hot, not for me anyway. That's on the cooler side. So I was out and about, and I knew that I probably sprayed a little bit too much, because it was like boom, bam, bow. Uh-oh, sorry. Hopefully that wasn't too loud on my microphone, but it was doing it for me. It was a lot. It wasn't too much, but I could tell that like if it was a little bit warmer, I probably would have had to go change my clothes, because it was doing a lot for the first like 4 hours or so. So I think the projection is pretty good. Of course, I'm smelling on myself, so I can only guess on projection. But the fact that my coworkers were able to smell it on me even after that 7-hour mark, I know it projects pretty good, or it leaves a scent trail pretty good. Same with my husband. He was able to smell it on me. He complimented me on this fragrance as well one night when I wore it. Now, because this is a heavier fragrance, I definitely think that it should be reserved for cool to cold weather. But I think if you work in an air conditioning environment, or you're going to be inside all day, you could definitely get away with wearing this, because I've been wearing this and now our temperatures are back to normal. So I think right now it's 81 degrees. I've been wearing this fragrance and it hasn't been too much. I just don't spray a ton of it. I definitely think this is a sexier fragrance. So I think date nights it would be appropriate, but I also think it's quite classy. So you could wear this to work. You could wear it to church. But I think I would probably save this for date night or like a formal occasion. I definitely think this could work for a formal occasion. Because of that, I think the aromatic nature gives it more of a formal feel, in my opinion. So I definitely think this fragrance is unique. I do have one fragrance and I'm going to compare it to, but overall, I think this is a unique fragrance. So the fragrance that I think Hale Bopp compares to is Lavender Extreme by Tom Ford. I feel like I've been talking a lot about this fragrance lately, and I love this fragrance. To me, this is a spicy lavender, and it has a vanilla or tonka dry down to it. And I think these fragrances are quite similar, especially at first spray. Now, this one has lavender in it, and initially that's why I thought lavender was in this fragrance. But when you smell them side by side, they're not exactly the same, but they are kind of going down that same route. So I think that if you love lavender, you probably like this one more. If you're not the biggest fan of lavender, but you still want that aromatic touch, then Hale Bopp would probably be better for you. I will say that at first spray, they are pretty close, but as they dry down, they do differ. This one definitely gets a little bit sweeter, a little bit more powdery, whereas this one kind of maintains that lavender note the entire time. Of course, it does dull down over time, and it just becomes more well blended. But overall, I do think as they get into the dry down that they differ enough that you could own both of them. So when it comes to price, I always like to share the retail price with you all, just in case you only shop retail. But I will tell you, I did not pay the full retail price for this. I will link down below where I purchased mine. It was on sale there. It's from a retailer. It's not a discounter site, but it was on sale, and it's still currently on sale as I'm filming this. So this fragrance retails for $455 for the 3.4 ounce bottle, which is the only size it comes in. So we're nearing the end of this video, and it's time for me to let you guys know if Hale Bopp is a love, a like, or a letdown for me. It's been a little minute since I did one of these videos, so let me remind you, or if you haven't seen one of these videos from me before, this is the time where you're supposed to pause the video, go into the comments, and let me know your guess. Do you think it's a love? Do you think it's a like? Or do you think it's a letdown for me? Okay, I think I've given you guys enough time to go ahead and put your answers. But for me, this fragrance is dun 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 dun, a love. I tried to trick y'all at the end, but I feel like y'all probably already knew it was going to be a love based on the way I described it. I love this fragrance. It is gorgeous. It's unique. It's thick. It's heavy. It's one of those fragrances that if you want people to smell you before you walk in, you can definitely do that with this one. But you can also wear it lightly so that you don't offend people, and so that it's just like a small cloud of fragrance for yourself. You can do it either way. I love this fragrance. I love the way it smells. I think that it's a nice addition to my collection. And although it is similar to Lavender Extreme, because of the dry down, I think they differ enough that I don't care about having both. I love both of them. Lavender Extreme, I wear this to bed a lot because it is kind of better for colder weather, but also the lavender is quite calming. So I wear this to bed a lot. But this will be one that I probably won't wear to bed. On the nights that I did wear it to bed, I kind of felt like it was too much for bed, to be completely honest. So this will definitely be more of that sexy date night type scent, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I love it. So if you guys have tried Hale Bopp from Tiziana Terenzi, let us know in the comments what you think of it. Did you enjoy it? Did you think that it was feminine enough for you? Because I know Lavender Extreme, a lot of people think is masculine. So I would assume that Hale Bopp, people will probably think is masculine as well, but not for me. So if you like the same type of scents that I like, I don't think it's masculine. So anyway, let us know what you think of Hale Bopp, and if you tried it, was it a love, a like, or a letdown for you? If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, check out my love, like, or letdown playlist. I love doing these videos. They're fun for me. And I think it's valuable for you all to see like how my thoughts and opinions change from the time I get it until the time that I come back to fully review it for you all. Also, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that now. Give this video a thumbs up and follow me on Instagram. I give you guys sneak peeks of new fragrances and other things that are going on in my life, so definitely check me out on Instagram. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.